Arham. Today we are going to discuss about the first and very important exercise which is called as Kayotsarg in Preksha Dhyan meditational technique. The verbal meaning of Kayotsarg is to give up the body. Kay means body and Utsarg means to give it up. So the question may come that how can you give up the body while living? A person gives the body only after the death. In other words, what we are practicing is a simulation of death. When a person dies, all the activities of the body cease. So in this exercise, we have to learn while even living, we can almost come to steadiness of all our body activities as far as possible. The question may arise, why should we practice Kayotsarg, that is giving up of the body, which means or which constitutes complete relaxation of the body with self-awareness. The reasons for the tension in our body, if they are understood properly, we can understand the significance and the utility of relaxation also. You know that in our daily life, we have to work for the whole day, and a person undergoes various types of stress conditions due to which a constant tension is produced. Our muscles, they become tightened, our nerves are also contracted, and there is an extra electrical current flowing in the nerves which remains even after the activity is over and also makes it tense. So in this way, you can understand that all our activities, whether they are physical activities, mental activities, or even emotional activities which go on in our consciousness, in our subconscious level, in our unconscious level, all these things, they produce tension. So in one word, we can say we have to practice Kayotsarg in order to relieve the tension which may be physical tension or mental tension or emotional tension. And the repercussions or the effects of this tension produced is really so dangerous for our health, for our mental peace, and also for our controlling the emotions. In this way, we have to understand that unless we become free from all kinds of tension which is produced, we cannot physically become fit to live, as well as when we talk of spiritual development, that is in terms of spiritual science, when we say that we have to elevate ourselves from the ordinary level to the higher level in which the self becomes more real in its nature, it comes closer to its nature. So to attain that state of self, we have to practice Kayotsarg. As I told you in the beginning, that Preksha meditation in itself is a system in which we have to occupy ourselves in perceiving. So that will remain even in Kayotsarg. In Kayotsarg also, we have to occupy ourselves, our conscious mind, our attention in only perceiving. When we occupy it in perceiving, we get rid of thinking or other functions of mind like memory, reaction, likes, dislikes, etc. So Kayotsarg is also one of the exercises of Preksha meditation. As I told you, Preksha means to perceive. When we occupy ourselves in perception of the self, by the self, and remain free from other activities of mind, then we say that we are practicing Preksha meditation. So Kayotsarg is also a kind exercise of Preksha meditation. We practice Preksha meditation at any time. First of all, we have to practice Kayotsarg. In all our exercises, the first exercise is Kayotsarg. We have to prepare our body first. How can we make body properly managed in such a way that we can practice perfectly the perception, that is Preksha, at higher states. In Kayotsarg, let us first try to understand what we do, that is how we practice it. It's a very simple exercise. First of all, you have to concentrate your mind on the body, each part of the body one by one separately. We start from the toes, say the big toe of the right foot, full concentration on that part. Try to make your attention fully concentrated there, and what you have to do is to perceive that part. Allow your conscious mind, your attention to be concentrated there, and go on continuously perceiving it. When you perceive that part, you feel something there. There may be some sensation, there may be the very, very minute vibrations, subtle vibrations. The vibrations may be of the prana, that is vital energy, or even maybe any physical or physiological activity, or say biochemical activity or bioelectrical activity which goes in our body. If whatever it is, what we have to do is concentrate the mind there on the big toe and whole part we try to visualize and perceive, and there we can feel any kind of vibration or sensation. We just perceive those vibrations or sensations without any reaction, with full equanimity, that is, we perceive. Then what we do is we use auto-suggestion for relaxing our body, our muscles, the nerves and the cells of the body which are under some tension. The daily activities which we do in our daily routine, the mental stress and other conditions, they produce tension in our muscles and nerves. So what we do is we use auto-suggestion to relax our tension. That is how we practice it. We go on giving auto-suggestion for a few seconds, and we find that our auto-suggestion works. We find that the whole part of the big toe becomes relaxed gradually by and by, and we feel a complete peace of mind, a complete relaxation of that part. This we have to perceive again, and in this way, starting from the big toe of the right foot, we go on each part of the body one by one, and then we try to experience that the whole body has become completely relaxed. That is, starting from the foot up to the head, each part one by one. That is how we actually practice Kayotsarg, or relaxation with self-awareness. So this is the way, this is the technique, this is the method how we practice it. Now we come to the discussion about that why should we practice it. So as I told you, to relieve the tension we have to do this. But when we talk of our spirit and body, that is in philosophical terminology, when we say that the self or the soul is a completely independent reality or existence, separate from the body. Body has its own existence. It is a material or physical existence in itself, whereas the self or the soul, of which consciousness is the main characteristic through which we recognize it, we feel it, we know it, that is the self or the soul which is separate from the body. We try to actually come in contact with this truth. That is, we have to penetrate our own existence and try to find out that body is separate and soul is separate. This is called separation or actual experience of separation of the body from the self, from the spirit or the soul. In order to actually have this kind of self-awareness separate from the body, it is necessary first to relieve the tension existing in the muscles and the nerves of the body. And that's why we practice Kayosarg. We concentrate our mind on each part of the body, give auto-suggestion, and gradually we understand or we experience that each part becomes relaxed, and then after practice of a few minutes throughout the body, we find that actually the self or the soul becomes separate and the body becomes separate. This experience, this awareness of our own self, that is the main purpose of practicing Kayosarg. Now, the thing is that we want to make ourselves pure, free from the contamination of the karma. Karma is bound to the body through the activities of the body, of the mind, of the speech, which we do during the whole life. Every moment we occupy ourselves in some activity. When we do some activity, there is a kind of turmoil, kind of vibration, movement, a restlessness in our body and mind. This attracts the karmic particles, which are very, very subtle particles, and they get bound to the soul. So now in order to separate the body, separate the karmic particles from the soul, that is to destroy the bondage of karma, we have to practice Kayosarg. This is the reason why we practice Kayosarg according to the philosophy of spiritual science. Unless we know our own self, that is, we get this self-awareness or self-realization and separation of the body from the self, we cannot go further, we cannot develop further our spiritual faculties. So this is the first and foremost requirement to proceed further in spiritual path or development of spiritual faculties. Second thing is that the disturbances which are produced by the mental turmoil and also the physical activities. Every time we indulge in some kind of physical activity, and that physical activity or mental activity that causes the bondage of karma. Not only that, that also produces the tension. So tension which is produced in the body, it causes so many illnesses which are psychosomatic diseases in the body, makes it diseased or makes it sick or ill, and we succumb to many kinds of psychosomatic diseases. That is on one hand. And on other hand, that is because of these mental condition in which the mind becomes restless. There is always some thought coming in the mind. Always we occupy ourselves in some kind of reaction of like and dislike, that is because of all this restlessness of the mind. In a way we can say that our mind has got this habit of remaining in turmoil, in restless condition every time. And the flickering of mind is so frequent, is so fast, that within 1 second it will change its topic from one topic to other topic, and will go far and wide all over the world where it wants to wander. So this wandering of mind, it creates a kind of restlessness in our mind. In order to gain the mental peace, it is required that we should practice this Kayotsarg. In Kayotsarg, gradually we change the condition of our mind and try to make the mind free from thoughts, free from agitation and turmoil. That means we become more and more peaceful. Actually, the bondage of karma is due to the effect of the past karma. And in this way, the vicious cycle goes on and on. The past karma have their effect, then the new karma are bound, then again they go and they are bound with the soul, again they have their effect and they bound new karma. In this way, the main cause of new bondage of karma is the mental agitation and the bodily restlessness. All the muscles, tensions, when they become restless, when they become very much in turmoil, we bind more and more karma. So in order to make ourselves free from this vicious circle, we have to calm down the body and the mind. In Kayotsarg, actually first we tackle the body. We first try to make it completely steady. As I told you before, steadiness of the body is very, very necessary to practice praksha meditation. So in Kayotsarg, first of all, we try to pacify all the physical functions, all the movements, all the subtle activities which are going on in our body, to make it as minimum as possible. It is a kind of, as I told you, simulation of death. Or as you might have heard about the hibernation process, in which certain creatures, certain animals, they do it naturally and they become completely free from all kind of activities. Their muscles, their nerves, all the physiological and biochemical activities come to nearly stand still, and then as if they have simulated death. So in this way, when we practice Kayotsarg, we try to bring our body to minimum physical activities, which are required of course for living and which is automatically managed in our body, but all our voluntary actions, voluntary motions, voluntary activities, muscular activities, nervous activities, we try to seize them, stop them, inhibit them. So in this way, the Kayotsarg is practiced in order to attain higher states of spiritual development and become free from the stress conditions and the tension produced by the activities of the body and the mind. Now let us try to explain the same thing in scientific terminology. When we say scientific terminology, what we mean is how our body functions. As you might all know, that the nervous system is the main operator of all our bodily functions. And whenever the nervous system is brought into play, there are certain effects on our body produced because of the overactivity of the nervous system. Whenever we face some kind of stress conditions in our life, we are meeting some challenging situation, there is some critical condition, some emergency before us, automatically our sympathetic nervous system, or we can call it the sympathetic branch of our autonomous nervous system, it becomes active. Whenever it becomes active, what happens actually is the blood supply to the digestive system is curtailed and digestion slows down or is halted. Second thing, the salivary glands dry up. Third thing, respiration rate increases. Breathing becomes faster or gasping. Fourth thing is the liver releases some of the store of blood sugar and it is carried to the muscles of the arms and legs, which are used in our fight or flight mechanism. If there is a strong opposition before us, we try to fly away from the field. And if we find that we are more strong, we try to fight back the situation. So for that we require more blood sugar for our arms and legs and muscular activities. And the fifth thing is the heartbeats become faster to pump more blood where it is most needed and the blood pressure rises. In these ways, these kinds of physiological conditions are automatically produced in our body every time whenever we have to meet with any stressful condition. And you know, in this modern lifestyle, when people have to undergo such stress conditions, often even in 24 hours, every time they have to do this. Because of that, what actually happens is that sympathetic nervous system becomes so dominant that it is never put to rest again. And in this way we find that all the time there is a sort of hypertension produced in our body, which results in constant rise in blood pressure, and that has a risk factor for our heart also, and our arteries in which the blood flows, they become hardened, and so many such physiological conditions that are produced there. Because of all these things, a person becomes obsessed with the psychosomatic diseases, the heart disease, the diabetes, the hyperacidity, the asthma. All these are actually found to be the effects of hypertension activity or the tension activity in the body, stressful activities in the body. And because of these only, these days, nowadays, in modern lifestyle, we find that these diseases are increasing more and more. There is no remedy, that is, there is no permanent cure through which you can make your body again free from these conditions. So in this way, you can try to understand that from scientific point of view, if you want to become free from the effects of stressful life conditions, stressful lifestyle, then you have to bring the balance between your sympathetic and parasympathetic branches of your autonomous nervous system. Sympathetic nervous system, if it becomes more dominant, a person may become in a way more tense, forever he remains in tension, and due to that again emotional disturbances are produced, which is harmful both from the spiritual point of view as well as from the point of view of health and our physical well-being. So you can try to understand that how our physiological conditions are affected by our lifestyle, and in order to countermand the ill effect of our stressful conditions, if we can practice Kayotsarg, relax the body, and remove the tension and make body to function always in a better condition, where there is balance between sympathetic and parasympathetic. That means we can countermount the effect of the modern life hazards which are produced because of the life conditions today. When we talk about the philosophical aspect, again we have to understand that in philosophy, in spiritual science, in spiritual practices, what is more important is to return to self-nature. The nature of the self is to remain free from tension, free from conditions of fluctuation of mind, from mental wanderings. Because unless you can concentrate fully, without any mental agitation and turmoil, you can't develop your spiritual faculties. For meditation also it is necessary, and even for general life the same thing is required. So in this way you can understand that this practice, that is Kayotsarg, is the only way to make ourselves free from the illusion that the body and the self is the same. When we practice Kayotsarg, actually we enter into condition when we feel actually the separateness of the body and the self, and this illusion goes away. Otherwise we are always under the illusion that I am body, or body is mine, the self and the body are the same. And because of that illusion or delusion or the wrong belief, we always try to have an attachment to the body and we ignore the self or the spirit. So this is spiritually the first condition for our own well-being, and as I told you, from physical point of view also the same thing is required. So in this way you can understand, you can just imagine how much important is the practice of Kayotsarg or relaxation, both from the scientific point of view and from the philosophical point of view. And I have told you also that the Kayotsarg, why it should be practiced from both points of view and how it is to be practiced. Now let us come to the point, what benefit we accrue from this. There are so many benefits from the Kayotsarg. When you do this practice of Kayotsarg regularly, every day, it becomes actually a part of lifestyle. Then automatically you gain many benefits. For example, there is soothing effect on the nervous system. As I told you, the nervous system should remain balanced. The balance between the sympathetic and the parasympathetic components. That is, it becomes balanced. There is a soothing effect on the nervous system. All our nerves in the body, they become free from tension. The tensed nerves cannot make you happy or peaceful. When the nerves become free from tension, you are relieved, you become relaxed, and you feel well-being in your mind. Second benefit is there is change in the electrical activity of the nervous system and the brain take place. According to modern science, every time our brain has certain kind of electrical activity going on there, and the machine that is called electroencephalogram that can measure actually your electrical impulses going in your brain. Sometimes there is the cycle between 7 and 14 which is called as alpha cycle. When the alpha rhythm becomes, the mind becomes completely peaceful. In Kayotsarg, it is found and it is measured, it is measurable that when a person enters into Kayotsarg, attains Kayotsarg, that is attains the relaxation of the body and the mind, automatically alpha rhythm, that is between 7 and 14 hertz, the cycles, this kind of frequency of the electrical activity in the brain will start. Otherwise, when we are in turmoiled state, in agitated state, always there is some kind of fluctuation in the mind or tension in the mind. Our electrical cycles or electrical frequencies of the brain, they will change. They may become beta or theta or delta and so on. So this is the very, very important benefit we gain, that we can attain alpha state, that is peaceful state of our mind, of our brain. The third thing is rate of metabolism slows down. That is, need for oxygen is also drastically reduced. This is a very important benefit from the spiritual point of view. You know, we want to go nearer to the nature of the self. The nature of the self is to remain completely free from all agitations, activities, and to remain in the nature, in the spiritual nature. So that is attained only if the metabolical processes which go in our body in normal life, if they are reduced, and the necessity of oxygen is also reduced. That means the body is at a very, very restful condition. All our metabolic processes, they are slowed down. Energy flow which is required to do that is also drastically curtailed, and in this way we gain immense spiritual power. The fourth thing is control is established on the involuntary or smooth internal muscles. This is also an aspect of our physiology or medical science, that the activities which are going automatically in our smooth muscle, internal muscles, we can't check it, we can't have any control over it. But in this condition of relaxation, such capacity is increased, in which we can establish the control, and in this way we are gained in the sense that where the involuntary action of the muscles are under control and the unnecessary tension produced there is relieved. Operational efficiency increases. This is the fourth benefit we accrue. You know, whenever we do the work, much of our energy which we utilize in activity, it is wasted because of the tension, because of the mental agitation, because of the lack of concentration, etc. So to increase your operational efficiency, what you have to do is, you have to make this unnecessary wastage less and less. If you can decrease this unnecessary wastage, your operational efficiency will increase. Then there is an increase in the capacity for bearing the environmental changes such as heat and cold. This is very necessary, at least for a spiritual practitioner. He has to undergo various sorts of climatic vagaries. You know, sometimes it is too heat, sometimes it is too cold. Every time the body has to undergo such extreme conditions, to increase this capacity of the body to remain, to withstand these changes, that is very necessary, and that can be increased by this practice of Kayotsa. Then alertness sharpens the intellect. You internally become so alert. Your self, nature of the self, is to remain in the nature and not to refrain away from the nature. That is alertness. That alertness is sharpened, and that also sharpens our intellect. That is intellectual power which we have, which we utilize in our activities, in our daily routine. It also increases, and it helps us so much to take decisions, to have solutions to problems and so on. And last thing is, concentration is easily achieved. The concentration is very important activity, very important faculty of ourself. If we can improve our concentration, make it more sharp and sharp, all our activities, whatever activities we take in our life, that can be done in a very fine way, in better way. So in this way, you can know that there are so many benefits you get from the removal of tension, from the freedom from turmoil, and you can revitalize your whole organism. The prana, that is the vital energy. We waste that vital energy in our other activities, in this turmoil activities, agitations. We can preserve it, or we can channelize it in such a way that we can utilize the vital flow as we desire. So in this way, there are so many benefits which you can get from the practice of Kayosarga. Another thing is that perceptive power of the self is also increased. We have got a subtle perceptive power, inner perceptive power. Even the phenomena which are not available to us, to our sense organs, we can get them, we can know them, we can have extrasensory type of perception through which we can get more awareness about these subtle phenomena. So, and the perception of aura is also possible. As I told you, there is an aura around our body which is actually the reflection of our inner conditions of self, of mind, of emotions, of body, etc. So if we can read the aura through the power of our concentration of self and getting the perception of aura, which is a very subtle phenomena, we can know more about our own self. And last but not the least is the development of wisdom, as it is called. Wisdom is called pragya. Wisdom means it is not knowledge. It is separate from the knowledge. Knowledge is something only you know. In wisdom, you know and you act according to your knowledge. When we have only knowledge, we have the knowledge, still we do what we should not do, what we ought not do. When wisdom arises, then we have control over our activities. We can not only decide what is right and what is wrong, but we can act according to that. This wisdom is very much necessary for developing the powers of our self and soul, as well as it is necessary in our daily life. So I think that in brief I will explain to you the benefits of Kayosarga. Again we try to revise what we have discussed about Kayosarga today. First of all, we should know how to practice Kayosarga. It can be practiced in lying down posture, and it is because for the beginners, this is the easiest posture in which you can practice it. Just you have to lie down straight and allow whole body to become relaxed, and by the technique which we follow there, we relax each part one by one, and the whole body is brought to complete relaxation. It can be practiced in sitting posture, because in our meditational exercises, whenever we practice Kayosarga, we practice it in sitting posture, and it is for a very short duration, for 10 to 15 minutes. But when we practice Kayosarga, that is wholly the exercise of Kayosarga, then we practice it for half an hour or 45 minutes as far as the time is permitted. So in this way, the technique, it should be understood, and we should know the philosophical background for which we practice Kayosarga. That is the knowledge of the separation of the body from the self. That is the first thing which we get, and then we minimize the fluctuations of the mind. We bring the body to complete steadiness and relaxed condition. The muscles and the nerves, they become also relaxed. In this way we attain that condition which is very necessary for practicing praksha meditation at high states. So in this way we can get this benefit scientifically, as I have explained, bring about the balance between the sympathetic and parasympathetic, and all the ill effects of sympathetic dominance which are produced in our daily life because of the tension life, because of the stressful life. we can become free from it, and the very dangerous, risky psychosomatic diseases, they also can be removed, cured, and they can be prevented also. Not only we can cure them, we have to prevent them. Because once you learn to practice Kayotsarg, you can practice it and make your body free from the chances of going into any kind of tension or remnant of any tension which produces hypertension, which causes the blood pressure to remain high, and which has ill effect on heart and other organs of our body. We can become free from that. So in this way, scientifically speaking or medically speaking, we can bring a maximum health, optimum health condition in our body, well-being from the mental, bodily, and other activities of mind. And emotionally also we can control, we can have a better control over our emotions, because emotions are raised more when we are more turmoil, when we are in more tension stage or stressful condition, and we have no control over our emotion of anger, impulse of anger, or any other kind of emotional outburst. We cannot control. More the practice of Kayotsarg becomes perfect, we get more power to control our emotions, our own emotions, and that is the benefit we get. And as I given the whole list of the benefits, the best thing is to get the wisdom. So in this way I think that when we actually practice Kayotsarg, and when you go deeper and deeper in Kayotsarg, you will find that how you can get better results in Kayotsarg, and the benefit which you accrue from it you can experience, and then you can know that Kayotsarg is the best way, it is the best way, best method to become free from physical tension, mental tension, and emotional tension. And in daily life, to become free from psychosomatic diseases and other hazards in our life, Kayotsarg is the best and easiest way to practice. So I think that we may conclude today about the discussion of Kayotsarg, and when you will actually practice it every day, because in this camp you have to practice every day Kayotsarg once, at least once or twice. The whole exercise will be of Kayotsarg. And whenever you practice Preksha meditation 2 times, 3 times or 4 times a day, first of all you practice Kayotsarg, so the precondition is established, and then you practice the other exercises such as the breathing, perception of breathing, or perception of body, or perception of psychic centers, etc. Kayotsarg is very necessary. So I think we conclude it.